Hi guys, and welcome to the Aging Games. Today's topic is not a very happy one. Today I'll be talking about trigeminal neuralgia, which is a very debilitating condition that can cause excruciating pain. Some people actually call it suicide disease because it doesn't respond well to even very strong pain medications, and some people get to the point where they feel so helpless, so lost, in so much pain that they actually end up killing themselves. So I know that's not a good introduction to this disease, but for those of you who are suffering from it, or if you have loved ones who are suffering from trigeminal neuralgia, then you understand exactly what I'm talking about. The trigeminal nerve branches out from here into 3 different directions, and this is why they call it trigeminal nerve. And what happens with the pain is it can actually radiate into all these 3 different kinds of directions. So the first time that I started having symptoms was about almost 10 years ago, about 9 years ago. And I really wasn't sure what it was. It was just this excruciating shooting pain, felt like electric pain, like electric jolts into my head. And at first I would start feeling it in my ears. And I just thought it was an earache. And it would kind of come and go. Then it started radiating down into my jaws. I actually went to see a dentist, and my dentist told me, oh, you have TMJ. So for the next 6-8 years or so, I just thought that I had TMJ. And it didn't really hit me until many years later that TMJ is just a very dull pain, and it's a much more bearable pain than trigeminal neuralgia. I didn't really look further into that or anything until many years later. In the meantime, I kept suffering. Every time I would have an outbreak, which would last for several days, especially really bad at night, like I would not be able to sleep at all. No medication would help, and I'm really against taking any kind of pharmaceutical meds. I don't like taking pain medications, even for headaches, for anything. But this pain is so unbearable, you're literally ripping your hair out. I mean, you will take anything, you will do anything to stop the pain. You know, there were points where I was mixing different kinds of pain meds, taking antidepressants, because those are supposed to work as well, and just all kinds of stuff, and literally nothing would work for me. It's a very difficult condition to treat, tolerate, and to cure. So what are the triggers that can trigger trigeminal neuralgia? Basically anything. Like some people will get triggered by just the wind, going outside in a cold wind or a strong wind hitting their face. It can be something as simple as even brushing your teeth. Some people are triggered by stress. For sure, I think my main trigger has always been stress, and during more difficult times of my life, I had a lot more flare-ups. The problem with trigeminal neuralgia is that it just gets progressively worse, and the attacks become more and more frequent. So unless you find some kind of a solution, it's an ongoing disease that is just really difficult to manage. So what is the main cause of trigeminal neuralgia? The main cause of the pain is due to contact between a healthy artery or vein and the trigeminal nerve at the base of the brain. This places pressure on the nerve, causing it to misfire. So this is why it's so difficult to treat, because it's actually just a blood vessel that is pressing on the nerve. So what are the treatment methods available today? One is very strong pain medications, possibly with codeine. Like I said, these did not work for me, but perhaps they do for some people. Also anti-seizure medications, anticonvulsion medications that they use for epilepsy. These medications can have very brutal, very strong side effects, but they do work for some people. And also antidepressants, which I've also tried. Xanax sometimes gave me some relief, but again, the price is very high because you have so many different side effects that these drugs will be causing. Now, as far as surgical interventions, well, you can do Botox. Some people are doing that. It's not so much surgical, but something that your doctor can do for you. But also there's major invasive surgeries that people are getting done. Also radiofrequency treatments, gamma ray knives. There's different types of treatments out there. None of them will give you 100% relief or will be guaranteed 100% to work. So, you know, it's a big gamble. And of course, I was out there looking for all kinds of solutions, anything but to have to go under the knife. So the good news, guys, is that after suffering for so many years and with my attacks becoming more and more frequent, I actually haven't had a flare-up in about a year and a half now, which is crazy insane, and I'm so happy about it, and I'd be knocking on wood right now if I had something around me. But so I wanted to tell you the things that I've been doing, and I really believe that these things have made a difference, and hopefully they will also work for you. The last episode I had was last summer, beginning of summer, probably around June. I went to see a chiropractor and I told her about my TN issues, and she did some adjustments in my neck, which she says, you know, that could be causing the problem with the nerve pain. And as soon as she did the treatment, it actually triggered a really bad round of trigeminal neuralgia pain. It actually had it on both sides, which has never happened before. Usually you get it on one side, but when you get it on both sides, it's just unbearable. So I said, I'm never going back, no more treatments for me. And the pain lasted for about 3 days, but it never came back. So the other things that I'm doing regularly, and I still continue to do them because I don't want to have to deal with this at all ever again in my life. And the first thing, going back to light, because everything ultimately goes back to light, is red light therapy. I use my Joovv lamp and I make sure that I cover both sides of my face. I do this every single day. I do about 10 minutes on each side. You can watch my other videos about red light therapy and how beneficial it is for health and for anti-aging and for many different things, but it's also really good for any kind of pain, including nerve pain. While I don't believe that red light can stop a compression of a nerve by a blood vessel, for example, but it does reduce inflammation, and by reducing inflammation, you can take that pressure off of the nerve. So I really think red light therapy is worth a try. It's a non-invasive treatment. Use it as a prevention as well. Do it every day if you have a really good red light therapy device. Another thing that I started using, and I've been using this for a couple years now, maybe a little bit more, and I also used it when I would get a flare-up, like when you first start feeling that shooting pain, shooting into your brain and your face and everywhere. So I would take out my low-level laser therapy device, and I started using this every night. I do 5 minutes on each side, and I put it right in this point where the nerve originates from. Like if I catch it in the beginning of a flare-up, I was able to reduce the symptoms so it wouldn't be as painful and it wouldn't last as long. So I still continue to do this every day as a prevention. There have been some studies done that low-level lasers can help with TN pain. They're not very expensive. I got mine on Amazon. This is also used for sports injuries and many different kinds of pain, and it costs around $200 to $300 euros. So it's pretty affordable and a really good natural option. Another thing I did in hopes of reducing my TN pain, and perhaps this had nothing to do with it, but it has definitely made an improvement, is that I had a very severe overbite. Like the top teeth would completely cover my lower teeth. And the only way to treat this would be braces, and my bite was completely misaligned. Nothing felt right in my jaw with my teeth. And what I did recently is I got tabletops done at the back of my teeth, which means they raised my bite of my lower teeth. You can do lower and top teeth as well, but I only did the lower teeth for the time being to see how things are. Let me show you here. So you can see they did these tabletops that they glued right on top of my back teeth to make my bite higher and to reduce my overbite. So with this, I find that my jaw is in a much better alignment. It's much more comfortable, and even when I'm chewing or not chewing, just at rest as well. I'm hoping that this will also take some of the pressure off the trigeminal nerve. And the other things I wanted to mention that you can do, which are very simple things. One is B12, to take B12 on a regular basis, which is very good for all kinds of nerve pain or any kind of neurological condition. It's really calming and soothing to the whole nervous system. And the final thing that I wanted to mention was the regular consumption of CBD oil, which I've been using for many years. A good quality CBD oil can be very helpful for neurological pain, also for healing your body overall. So I'm not sure exactly what it was ultimately that helped with not having any kind of pain or any kind of flare-ups for the past year and a half. Whatever it is, I'm super grateful, and I will continue to do all of these things just in case, and hoping that it doesn't come back. And like I said, stress was always a very big trigger for me. You know, with the lockdown, with this pandemic going on, the stress has been tremendous the past year, and despite that fact, I haven't had any issues at all. I would recommend for you guys to try these things if you like, and if you'd like to have a natural alternative alternative to what you're doing presently. If you have found something that works for you, I would love to hear about it, and please share it with others below as well. I know how debilitating and how horrible this condition is to deal with. You know, I wish you guys all the best on your journey, and hopefully you will also find a solution. And I honestly pray that it will never come back for me, and that I can just, you know, go about my normal life without having to rely on any kinds of medications or invasive surgery. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please check out my other videos, which are not related to this topic, but lots of things on anti-aging and how to stay healthy. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and to comment below. Thanks for watching, guys.